get to our feet, give a round of applause for once again at the Opera House, Monroe Crossing.
Good.
See her head. She's chasing away her trouble. She's caught in another net. I can't stand to see, just to see them two blue eyes shining like two diamonds in the sky. Last time I saw little Maggie, she was sitting by the banks of the stream with a 44 around her and a banjo on her knee. Pretty flowers were made for bloom, pretty stars they were made to shine, pretty girls were made for loving, little Maggie made to be mine. You can march me down to the station, put a suitcase in my head. I'm going away for leaving. I'm going to some far distant land. So go away, little Maggie. Go away just as fast as you can. I can get me another woman. You can get you another man. So go away, little Maggie. Go away just as fast as you can. I can get me another woman. You can get you another man. Honey, you don't know my mind. I'm lonesome all the time. Born to lose, a drifter, that's me. You can travel for so long, then a rambler's heart goes wrong. Maybe you don't know my mind today. Heard the music of the rail heart goes wrong. Baby, you don't know my mind, Dave.
Well, howdy, howdy. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Good to be back in Wisconsin, back in Independence, Wisconsin. Thanks for coming out tonight. How many of you are seeing us for the first time? All right, all right. Well, we'll hope it's a painless experience for you and that you go home tonight feeling, I don't know, musically enhanced. I don't know. Anyways, we are from the Twin Cities of Minnesota. We've been playing for 15 years. We've got 3 original members in the band, and we have 2 unpaid interns. Kind of tell you about the band as we go along. Right now, I'd like to introduce our banjo player, who's the youngest, newest, and tallest member of the band. He was born in Muncie, Indiana, now lives in Richfield, Minnesota. One of the finest banjo players in this part of the country, a multi-instrumentalist and great bass singer, and snappy dresser, too. If you can't see the little shoes, you're not sitting close enough. 3 more payments, and they're his. On the 5-string banjo, our good friend, David Robinson.
Golly. Shazam, Shazam. Thank you, folks. We're going to do an Earl Scruggs banjo tune, one that off of his Foggy Mountain banjo record, a real standard in the banjo playing world, called Ground Speed.
bed. They don't know that their mother is gone. What should I do when I wake up? How can I tell them about their mother's wrong? I hate to see that sun is sinking. Another night to toss and turn. Another night to dream about her. Another night for her. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I'd like to introduce our guitar player. He's the second newest member of the band. He's been with us for about 5-6 years. He was born out in beautiful Spokane, Washington, but moved to Minnesota when he was just 2 years old. His family settled in Moorhead. Then he moved down to the cities and started playing rock and roll for a bunch of years until he discovered bluegrass. He's been picking the acoustic guitar ever since. But whether he's singing rock and roll or bluegrass, he's a great singer, and I love harmonizing with this guy. Writes great songs, and he's a super creative flat-top guitarist and also another snappy dresser. we like that, Monroe Crossing. Make welcome my guitar, Mr. Derek Johnson.
Lord, I'm going to do a lot of singing tonight. I'm afraid if you came here to hear some of Lisa's wonderful diva-esque type of material, well, she's a bit under the weather. She's recovering from pneumonia, of all things. Went to the doctor, got it diagnosed, got the medication. She's back on her feet. But yeah, you just in the doctor yesterday. So. But she's going to be doing her best to sing, but I'll be doing most of the real loud singing. Let's put it that way. The real loud singing.
We'll have to sing a few of those croaker tunes instead of crooner tunes.
Yeah, otherwise it'll come up. I'm okay. I'm okay.
So we're going to have all the guys singing on this one. Well,
Or it's okay. That's what
all the guys that sing are going to sing on this one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, there you go.
And we're going to do a classic standard bluegrass number from Jim and Jesse. A really sad tune called Hard-Hearted Heartbreaker. Hard-hearted heartbreaker, dream-stealing love maker. Hard-hearted heartbreaker, how many hearts have you broken today? How many hearts have you broken today? How many lives have you caused to go wrong? How many hearts have you broken into just because your heart is proven true? Hard-hearted heartbreaker, dream-stealing love maker. Hard-hearted heartbreaker, how many hearts have you broken today? How many lies have you told the other guy? Just like the ones you told me. Someday you'll learn that the tide will have to turn. Keep on breaking hearts and you will see. Hard-hearted heartbreaker, dream-stealing love faker. Hard-hearted heartbreaker, how many hearts have you broken today? Thank you so much. You know, that energy of that song, that's so much better than rock and roll. I'm saying, oh yeah. I mean, because I'm a recovering rock and roller. It's true. I was born again into bluegrass music quite a few years back, and you know, I discovered one really nice thing about bluegrass over rock and roll right when I started playing it, and that is, well, your parents come out and watch you perform. Oh, nice. In fact, after one show, my mom asked, "Now, Derek, are there any happy bluegrass tunes?" I mean, hard-hearted heartbreaker, dream-stealing love faker. Oof.
Hey, that guy figured it out.
That is
He did. That's true. He'd figured it out in the song. Usually, those guys and the characters in the songs live their whole life sad and lonely. Oh, but there's a redeeming grace in the bluegrass music, and that is gospel music. A lot of gospel and bluegrass. So I thought I'd better write a gospel tune for my mom to show her that, and it appeared on our most recent all gospel CD. It's the title track, a song called "Joy, Joy, Joy." It's a hard road that you're traveling, a hard road that you're bound. Trouble around every corner till you reach the hallowed ground. So put your faith in Jesus, believe and do right, and the darkness will soon turn into light. Joy, 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 all of my joy in my soul, as I cross the great divide. Joy, 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 there'll be peace in the valley when I reach the other side. Well, I know it's hard believing when the world treats you wrong, when your friends are leaving and the devil sings his song, when the night is full of sorrow and you feel you're at your end. Just believe life begins again. Joy, 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 all of my joy in my soul, as I cross the great divide. Joy, 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 there'll be peace in the valley when I reach the other side. It's a lifetime full of hard times, a lifetime full of pain. But if you avoid the struggle, then there is nothing you have gained. 'Cause in your darkest hour, there is a candle burning bright. So dry your tears and step into the light. Joy, 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 all of my joy in my soul, as I cross the great divide. Joy, 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 there'll be peace in the valley when I reach the other side. When I reach the other side.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce the husband and wife team in Monroe Crossing. Our fiddle player and our bass player are not only married, they're married to each other. And they're going to pose and do the cultural portion of the program. This is what we call Bluegrass Gothic. There you go. Hey, our bass player is the only member of the band that was born in the great state of Wisconsin. He was born in Michigan. I think you went to Vince Guaraldi High School, didn't you?
Vince Guaraldi High School, yeah.
Or Lombardi, oh.
No, I spent my first 18 years in a town called Michigan, which was Native American for hairy legs. I went to Hairy Legs High School. You should have seen our cheerleaders. No, I grew up, Michigan is 35 miles southeast of Green Bay. So all those years ago when I moved to Minneapolis, it was hard to lose professional football. Many of you know of which I speak. You know, the great thing about living in Minnesota, though, I've always liked the color purple. And in Minnesota, it is always on sale. I can't explain that. You know, they built that new Viking Stadium. It cost more to build that Viking Stadium than it cost to send that probe to Pluto. Think about that. Because Pluto has won just as many Super Bowls.
Well, he does a whole lot for the band. He's our driver. We did over 160 shows last year. He did 45,000 miles behind that wheel. He does sound for the band, which is a real tough job. He writes songs, sings harmony parts, and he's the bounciest bass player in bluegrass music. Give it up for Mark Anderson. And by the way, kids, that's what happens to your bass when you leave it out in the rain. Don't do that.
It's a too small bass night.
It's a
small bass.
Oh yeah, small bass night. That's cool. That's cool. And back on the fiddle, a gal who's got Minnesota connections. Her mom and dad are from Hewlin, Minnesota, but they were living and working overseas in Africa, in Nigeria, when she was born. And her first introduction to bluegrass was some instruments and a Bill Monroe record that was given to their family by a Baptist missionary. She's been playing music ever since. Now, she's lived all over the world. She's lived in Kenya, in Thailand, in Virginia and New Jersey, before settling in Minnesota, where she fits in great. She's 100% Norwegian heritage, everybody. Great, great singer. Little under the weather tonight. Fabulous fiddle player and amazing songwriter. We're doing one of her songs coming up right in just a moment. Make welcome on fiddle, Lisa Fugly.
Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know where I'm going.
Well, everybody knows that D minor is the saddest key in music, period. The second saddest key is E minor. I don't know, did you know that? E minor? And this is a song that Lisa wrote. She just made it up about a couple boys who would play cops and robbers in the backyard. And when they grew up, one became a cop. And we're not going to tell you what happened to the other, give it away. But the chorus goes, the Jesse James gang ain't got a thing on me. This is me and Billy.
He's got the badge, I've got the gun. I'm the one on the run. Billy's hiding by an oak tree. I see him, he doesn't see me. Tripping tight, it's all in fun. I'm the one with the gun. Jesse James K. Ain't got a thing on me. Billy says no, but I want more. Hit my pocket easily, 'cause I can want it to be free. Car all lonesome by itself, thought I'd take it for a spell. They caught me up just 2 days home. Billy told them where I'd gone. Jesse James, girl. He studied law while I bummed around. He got his badge and I got my gun. I was the man on the run. Billy went straight and I went hard. We still met in the old backyard. Guess he thought he'd rescue me. It's not the way that it would be. Jesse James Gay ain't got a thing on me. News went out on the radio. Billy took the call. His patrol officer down, a bank job gone wrong. I was the man with the gun. Billy looked at me and I studied him. I knew he could not kill his friend. He drew his gun and I quickly aimed. Said another hole we got that day. Jesse James Gay ain't got a thing on me. Jesse James Gay.
Thank you. It's a song by Lisa, who wrote that right out of her head. That's how you do it. And, you know, she does all the bookkeeping for the band. She's a numbers lady in the band. And she just informed me that you said in 2 weeks? 2 weeks from today is show number 1800 for Monroe Crossing. 15 years of Bluegrass, ladies and gentlemen.
You really should learn a new song or two.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it more interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna introduce our mandolin player too. He's the guy who's been doing most of the talking. He's gonna sing the next song for you. And he's the only native-born Minnesotan in Monroe Crossing, born in Mankato, Minnesota. And you know, his dad was a big fan of country music, and so when he started playing that mandolin, he convinced his dad to take him around to a lot of different bluegrass festivals, where they went to the legendary Bean Blossom Festival that Bill Monroe hosted every year. And it's still going on. We just played there this last June. He was right back at home last June in Bean Blossom. That's where he had a chance to meet a lot of the first-generation bluegrass stars, including Mr. Bill Monroe, and once even picked a few tunes with Mr. Bill Monroe himself. He's got a lot of great Bill Monroe stories. But, you know, he's an amazing singer, does a lot of great MC work for the band, and, you know, he also is one of the top-notch mandolin players you're going to find in this part of the country. Hey, it's time to put your hands together for Mr. Matt Thompson.
Well, I don't think anyone's mentioned that, you know, every January we take our Anywhere But Minnesota tour, and that includes Wisconsin too. And we like to go to places like Tennessee and Georgia and Arkansas and Louisiana, where it's a little bit warmer, you know. And this is one we sing when we're down in Georgia. This is called the Georgia Piney Woods.
Miss those Georgia piney woods, ancient home of the Creek and the Cherokee and me. I was born in the Georgia piney woods, 15 miles from a grocery store. No TV or gold plate, shiny good, cracked linoleum on the floor. We had cows in the backfield grazing, chickens a cackling out in the pen. Life was good, but it's amazing how I couldn't see that back then. Miss those Georgia piney woods, wonder if they miss me. Lonesome for those piney woods, ancient home of the Creek and the Cherokee and me. I was happy as Borden's cow. I've lost all my Indian arrowheads, ain't no use to me here no how. I get paid now by the hour, lead my typical suburb life. Got credit cards and buying power, and I owe more money than Caesar's wife. Miss those Georgia piney woods, wonder if they miss me. Lonesome for those piney woods, ancient home of the Creek and the Cherokee and me. Miss those Georgia piney woods, wonder if they miss me. Lonesome for those piney woods, ancient home of the Creek and the Cherokee and me.
But, you know, speaking of those January winters being kind of brisk, well, that kind of leads into this next song, which was written by our friend Bill Isles in honor of his grandfather, who during the Great Depression had the job fixing trains at night in the roundhouse. And when the hobos would come by looking for a warm place to sleep, he would let them in, despite the fact that if caught, he might have lost his job. And he wrote this lovely tribute we hope you enjoy called Hobos in the Roundhouse.
From 7 to 7 every night of the week, fixing trains in the roundhouse, I work on my feet. And I told my children, hope the bed bugs don't bite, 'cause I got hobos sleeping in the roundhouse tonight. From Akron to Hinckley and Prairie du Chien, they are soldiers and lawyers, and I believe what they're saying. And I'll rouse them at 4 and head down the line. The hobos are sleeping in the roundhouse tonight. Good night, my hobos, rest your vagabond head. On your own left side pillows, in your gunny sack bed. For a few stormy hours, you'll be alright. My hobos sleep in the roundhouse tonight. Well, they hired a new man to work as a guard. Every morning at sunrise, he checks out the yard. But for now, I won't trust him, though he seems pretty nice. 'Cause I got hobos sleeping in the roundhouse tonight. Good night, my hobos, rest your vagabond head. On your own left sack pillows, in your gunny sack bed. For a few stormy nights, you'll be alright. My hobos sleep in the roundhouse tonight. Well, I asked my Savior, what should I do? If I'm caught helping hobos, my job could be through. Well, I heard the answer so clear and so bright. Are my hobos sleeping in your roundhouse tonight? Good night, my hobos, rest your vagabond heads on your own knapsack pillows in your gaudy sack bed. For a few stolen hours, you'll be alright. My hobos sleep in the roundhouse tonight. For a few stolen hours, you'll be alright. My hobos sleep in the roundhouse tonight. Good night, boys.
Hey, you know, once in a while we like to step outside of the box in bluegrass music. And do like a rock and roll song. My wife loves classic rock, as do I, and everyone in the band is a fan of the Hollies. So we were looking through their songs and said, which one would make a good bluegrass song? Well, guess what? This one is about moonshine. Enough said. Here's one called "A Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress." 1, 2, 3, go.
Saturday night I was downtown working for the FBI, sitting in a room with bad men, whiskey bottles piling high. Two-legged boozer on the west side, full of people who were doing wrong. Just about to call up the DMA when I heard this woman sing a song. Hey, pair of 45s made me open my eyes. My temperature started to rise. She was a long, cool woman in a black dress, just by my beautiful tall. Just one look, I was a bad mess, 'cause that long, cool woman had it all. When I saw her walking to the table like a tall walking big black cat, when Charlie said, I hope that you're able, boy, 'cause I'm telling you she knows where it's at. Well, suddenly we heard the siren and everybody started to run, jumping out of doors and tables. I heard somebody shooting a gun. Well, the DA was pumping my left hand, and she was holding my right. I'm telling her, don't be scared, 'cause you're gonna be spared. I gotta be forgiving if I wanna spend my living with the long, cool woman in a black dress, just by my beautiful tall boy. Just one look, I was a bad mess, 'cause that long, cool woman had it all. 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 Had it all.
Well, appreciate all the requests. We're going to start off with a song from Mr. Jimmy Martin and his Sunny Mountain Boys, a tune called "Sunny Side of the Mountain." This isn't it. This is the preamble.
This is the orchestral portion of the show.
thank you. For our next song, we're going to...
Have you ever noticed sopranos are always going dee 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 dee?
On the sunny side of the mountain where the rippling waters flow.
You gave me, and so I'll be waiting on the hillside for the day that you will call.
On the sunny side of the mountain where the rippling waters fall.
Please answer, little darling, tell me where you can be. It's been so long since I've seen you, but our love lingers on.
Don't forget me, little darling, though our love affair seems gone.
Before I go far away, and I'll be waiting on the hillside for the day that you will call.
On the sunny side of the mountain where the rippling waters fall.
Ocean to the wide Pacific shore, from the green flowing mountains to the southland by the shore. Getting mighty tall and handsome, she looks right well by her. She's a rebel combination called the Wabash Cannonball. So listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roll as she glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. In the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call, traveling through the jungle. States of dandy, so people say, from New York to St. Louis and Chicago by the way, from the hills of Minnesota where the rippling waters fall, no changes can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. So listen to to the jingle, rumble and the roar. And she glides along the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call. Traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. You could hear all the people say, there's a girl here from Memphis. You can hear the people say, there's a gal here from Tennessee. She's long and she's tall. She just got back from Birmingham on the Wabash Cannonball. So listen to the jingle, rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call. Traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball.
Hey, thank you. Roy Aika, Wabash Cannonball. We know about once a year we play at a square dance. Usually it's a wedding and they hire a square dance caller and teach people how to do the steps. But there's one song you got to be very careful not to do at a square dance. So we're going to do this one right now. On most songs have an A part and a B part. And on the B part, there's one measure that has 5 beats instead of 4. You can imagine what that would do to a square dance group, right? You might recall the great square dance disaster of 1952 in Henson, Kentucky, where a band, unbeknownst to the dancers, played Clinch Mountain Backstep. All the dancers crashed into the wall. There were no survivors, so we don't want to recreate that.
How that exploded, I'll never know. I thought the explosion was the weird part. The other thing about this song in particular, we do this thing called the world beloved, the Bluegrass Mass. Now, it's a classical choral piece written for choir and us, right? Now, this has brought us to places like Carnegie Hall, and it's going to bring us to South Korea next April. But the trick is, the woman who wrote it, her name's Carol Barnett. She's a wonderful lady. And they commissioned her, and she came out, and she said, I don't really know much about bluegrass. And she sat there and listened to us, and she said, do you ever add an extra beat in a measure or something? And we're thinking, yeah, Clinch Mountain Backstep, yeah, we can do that. We've done that. And she went away and said, you want to say it?
I do, because she said it to me. She said, oh, goody.
And she's exactly the person who would say, goody. And so choirs have been stumbling into walls with that piece ever since. But it's a beautiful piece of music if you get a chance to listen to it. And I always link that song or that piece and this song. So, the Stanley Brothers.
A 2-chord song.
Thank you. Nice job. We were out in Virginia earlier this year, and when you pull into Virginia from Tennessee, one of the first signs you see is the Clinch Mountains. We were so excited when we saw that. Well, we're going to do a song. You know, every once in a while we need a new band member joins up, and if we're busy and on the road, we don't have time to rehearse. And that was pretty much the case when both of these guys joined. His first show was in Blythe, California. And do we practice at all before we? I think we did a little bit. But when we walked down on stage with them for the first time, you know, we had no idea how it would go. It went really well, by the way. And same thing with this guy. We just gave him a bunch of our CDs and say, learn these songs. And his very first show was Savannah, Georgia. He just literally walked on the stage and started playing, and it worked. So, but this is the song that he taught us just before he went on stage in Blythe, California about 5 years ago. A great gospel tune called Judas Is My Name.
My name is Judas, my Lord, I did betray. With a kiss upon his cheek, I gave my Lord away. I was forgiven, but I could not bear the shame. So I hung myself in a potter's field. Judas is my name. Oh, I was there when he walked upon the water. I was there when he fed the multitude. I saw when he gave life to a man's only daughter. I was one of the 12, one of the chosen few. My name is Judas, my Lord, I did betray. With a kiss upon his cheek, I gave my Lord away. I was forgiven, but I could not bear the shame. So I hung myself in a potter's field. Judas is my name. Oh, I was there when he promised to redeem us, and he knew that I left before that day. I sold my soul to 30 silver pieces, and I led the soldiers to him in the garden where he prayed. My name is Judas, my Lord, I did betray. With a kiss upon his cheek, I gave my Lord away. I was forgiven, but I could not bear the shame. So I hung myself in a potter's field. Judas is my name. My name is Judas, my Lord, I did betray. With a kiss upon his cheek, I gave my Lord away. I was forgiven, but I could not bear the shame. So I hung myself in a potter's field. Judas is my name. Hung myself in a potter's field. Judas
Well, you know, every once in a while we play a private event, a wedding or an anniversary, and that's often the source of new material because, like, we do the song My Girl, that was for a wedding. Lisa sings At Last, that was for a wedding. And this next song was for a 50th wedding anniversary that we did a couple weeks ago in St. Cloud. And Derek and I learned this just for the event, and we're going to do it again tonight. We're going to try it. We've only successfully performed it once, so if we do it tonight, that's 2 in a row. That's a good roll. But this is an Everly Brothers song, Little Wake Up Little Susie.
Wake up, little Susie, wake up. Wake up, little Susie, wake up. We've both been sound asleep. Wake up, little Susie, and we. The movie's over, it's 4 o'clock, and we're in trouble deep. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Well, what are you gonna tell your mama? What are you gonna tell your papa? What are you gonna tell our friends when they sing, ooh la la, wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Well, I told your mama you'd be in by 10. Well, Susie, baby, it looks like a goof again. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. We gotta go home. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up. The movie wasn't so hot. Yeah, we didn't have much of a plot. We fell asleep, our goose is cooked, our reputation is shot. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Well, what are you gonna tell your mama? What are you gonna tell your papa? What are you gonna tell our friends when they say, ooh la la, wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie.
Amen.
Thank you. Whenever I would tell people, you know, what's the singing like in bluegrass, I think of the Everly Brothers. You know, the Everly Brothers started recording back in the 1950s, and I believe Chet Atkins, Nashville guitarist Chet Atkins, was their uncle, if anyone knows otherwise. And he did the arrangement for their songs. But there's this great story about Chet Atkins that I really like. You know Webb Pierce, country singer Webb Pierce? He had a guitar-shaped swimming pool. And whenever people would take tours of the Stars' homes in Nashville, Tennessee, everybody had to go see Webb Pierce's guitar-shaped swimming pool. Well, Chet Atkins said, you know, I'm such a famous guitar player that I have a swimming pool in the shape of an amp.
Guitar amplifier.
In other words, rectangular.
You know, I think it was Chet Atkins who also once said the trick to playing guitar is to make the hard stuff look easy and the easy stuff look hard. What do we got?
Oh, this is yeah, I'm going to try to sing this one. This is one that Mark and I co-wrote. We hope you enjoy our interpretation of Micah 6:8. Wrongs of one to another can't seem too much to understand. We hate in turns, we never learn. An eye for an eye leaves both blind, a pound of flesh for an ounce of crime, and no one wins, the wheel just spins. He has shown you, oh man, what is good. What does Yahweh require of you? Act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Let mercy fall like gentle rain, without compulsion, without strain. When grace is real, we all can heal. When we forgive another's debt, we free ourselves to love, and yet we honor those we miss the most.
show you, oh man, what is good. What does Yahweh require of you? Act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God.
This light of mine is not my own, it shines in these few seeds I've sown on just rain.
Oh, mercy reign, show you, oh man, what is good. What does Yahweh require of you? Act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God.
Well, most of you know the name Earl Scruggs, and that's very much associated with bluegrass banjo and Earl Scruggs. But there's a contemporary of his who was playing in a band called the Tennessee Cut-Ups at the same time. His name was Don Reno, and he was a great banjo player and teamed up with a guy named Red Smiley. So Don Reno, Red Smiley, and the Tennessee Cut-Ups, and they recorded this song called, it's a sad title, very sad title, Unwanted Love. This was a request by our banjo player.
My all-time favorite song.
I wanted someone who loved and knows, someone who knew the thrill to pay the cost, someone who says he'll never take a chance on another broken heart by false romance. Wanted love, to share all this misery and pain of a heart that's unwanted in love and unwilling to gamble again. I don't want to love again, I'm sure. Someone whose love is not sincere. I don't want someone who hasn't known how it feels to love and be alone. Wanted and unwanted love, to share all this misery and pain of a heart that's unwanted in love and unwilling to gamble again. Alone, footloose and fancy free, chained to a love they never claimed, and afraid to her love again. Wanted and unwanted love, to share all its misery and pain of a heart that's unwanted in love and unwilling to gamble again.
You know, I was thinking during that song, it sounds like something you'd read on Craigslist.
Well, if that wasn't a strange enough joke, here's a stranger occurrence that happened in Monroe Crossing. the way we came about this next song, we were never planning on, this is another crossover song, another rock and roll song we turned into a bluegrass number, but we got this one from our driver over in Germany, the guy who drove us around. Twice we've been to Europe, or headed back in 2016, and he drives us around on tour so we don't get lost, and his name is Herbert Schildhammer, and he's a very, very tall, broad, and hairy Bavarian. Looks like he belongs in an outlaw motorcycle gang, but he's actually a retired judge who now drives bluegrass bands around Europe.
He looks like he belongs in a band called Hairy Bavarian.
He does look like a man.
One morning at breakfast, I turned to him and I said, Herbert, I like the sweater you're wearing. He said, Mark, I have not yet put on a shirt.
That describes Herbert quite well. Yeah.
And I love the French accent.
I can't do German. You just have to do this, right?
Well, the first time we were over there, he requested a song, and he requested a song called Fraulein, which is a great country tune, and had a lot of references to Germany, made a lot of sense to us. But the second time, he wanted to hear a song by 1980s Canadian rocker Bryan Adams. Well, I used to play it back in the garage, and we put this together. We hope you like it. Bought my first real 6-string, bought it at the 5 and dime. Played it till my fingers bled. It was the summer of '69. Some friends from the school, yeah, we had a band and we tried real hard. Jimmy quit, Jody got married. Should've known we never get that far. Yeah, when I look back now, that summer seemed to last forever. Yeah, if I had my choice, I'd always want to be there. Those were the best days of my life. No use in complaining when you got a job to do. Spend my weekend at the drive-in, and that's what I value. Standing on your mama's porch, you told me it would last forever. Yeah, when you held my hand, I knew that it was now or never. Those were the best days of my life. Oh yeah, back in the summer of '69. Oh yeah. Oh, we were killing time, we were young and restless, needed to unwind. I guess nothing can last forever, forever. Old times here are changing, look at everything that's come and go. Sometimes when I play that old 6-string, think about you wondering what went wrong. Standing on your mama's porch, you told me it would last forever. Yeah, when you held my hand, I knew that it was now or never. Those were the best days of my life. Oh yeah, back in the summer of '69. Oh yeah, and never run a distance in a way. Oh yeah, and never run a distance in a way. Oh yeah.
Well, thank you. Mark was mentioning we have the Minnesota Bluegrass and Old Time Music Association, and you have bluegrass associations in Wisconsin too. But one of the differences between old time and bluegrass, old time is the music that preceded bluegrass. It's the music that bluegrass grew out of. And in an old time, if you have a banjo player in the band, they play a style called clawhammer or frailing, or mountain style, which preceded the style that Earl Scruggs developed for bluegrass. And clawhammer, you take the picks off and just use your fingers, and it sounds like this. So we're going to get that old-timey sound of this next instrumental that Lisa wrote. This was the time we played at a bluegrass festival in Illinois, and there was a tree full of cicadas, and they drowned everything out. So Lisa was inspired to write this song called Cicada. Hey, when we recorded our third all bluegrass gospel CD, this was a song that I brought to the band, and it's always been one of my favorites since I first heard it. And it's called Whispering Hope. Beautiful song. And we're going to feature the mandolins in this one. This was written by the person who wrote the song. Is this right, Lisa? How much is that doggy in the window? No. Where, oh, where has my little dog gone? Okay. Any dog owners in the audience? Who has a dog? Don't you love dogs? They're the best. They're the best. Whenever we're on the road, the first thing I do when I come home, I open up the door, step in the kitchen, get down on my knees, and the three dogs come up and give my face a kiss. And then after they've kissed me all over, then I go and kiss my wife. Share a little bit. Yeah, exactly. 1, 2, 3, 1.
Breathing
John. One, two, three.
Got my hands on the gospel plow, and I won't take nothing from my journey now. Keep your hands on the plow, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your hands on the plow, hold on. Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John, all those prophets are dead and gone. Keep your hands on the plow, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your hands on the plow, hold on. Never been to heaven, but I've been told the streets up there are paved with gold. Keep your hands on the plow, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your hands on the plow, hold on. Got my hands on the gospel plow, and I won't take nothing for my journey now. Keep your hand on the plow, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your hands on the plow, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Thank you. You know, our band formed back in 2000, and that was the year the movie Oh Brother came out. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Y'all saw that movie? Great soundtrack, a lot of great songs. Everyone asked for the song that the Soggy Bottom Boys played, and we're going to finish up the show with that one. Song written in the late 1800s, but made popular once again by bluegrass legend George Clooney and his band, the Soggy Bottom Boys. I'm a man of constant sorrow. Thank you, folks. Okay.
Constant sorrow all through his day. Oh, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. Oh, I've been farewell to old Kentucky, state where I was born and raised. The state where he was born and raised. For 6 long years I've been in trouble. No pleasure here on earth I found. For on the ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon that train. Perhaps he'll die upon that train. Maybe your friends think I'm a stranger. My face you'll never see no more. But there is a promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. In constant sorrow all through his day.
Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.